Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Now let's do some questions to see how much you have understood in this lesson of fractions, where we are dealing with equivalent fractions and simplest form of a fraction. So it says write the fraction. Are all these fractions equivalent? Just look at the images. Don't think about anything else in the A part. Do you think all these fractions are equivalent? Yes. Why? Because in all these images we see half of the circle is shaded. Now let us write their fractions. First one is 1 over 2. Second one is 2 over 4. Third one is 3 over 6. Fourth one is 4 over 8. So these all are equivalent fractions. They are all equal to each other. Moving to the next one. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 4 out of 12 are shaded. In the next one we have got 9. Out of 9, 3 are shaded. Next one we have got 4, 5, 6. Out of 6, 2 are shaded. Then we have got 1 out of 3 shaded, and the last one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So it's 15. And out of 15 we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are shaded. Now, do you think they are equivalent? What do you think? I think we can use the method of multiplication in order to check. Here the simplest form I see is 1 over 3. If I multiply 1 over 3 by 2 for the numerator and denominator both, I'll get 2 over 6. So these two are equal, right? Now think about multiplying 1 over 3 by 3. It will give 3 over 9. So 3 over 9 is equivalent to 1 over 3. So all these are equivalent, right? Now these are equivalent to 1 over 3. Always think about, okay, so here again I want to make a point. Firstly, I multiplied 1 over 3 by 2 and 2. I got the answer as 2 over 6. So I understood that to 1 over 3, this particular fraction, 2 over 6 was equivalent. In order to do the next, I am multiplying 1 over 3 by 3. Okay? I am using the same simplest form in order to multiply it further. So this gives 3 over 9. So I am saying 3 over 9 is also equivalent to 1 over 3. Now let's multiply 1 over 3 by 4. So it is 4 over 12. So this is also equivalent. Then multiplying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so multiplying 1 over 3 by 5. It gives 5 over 15. So this particular fraction is not equivalent. Okay. All the other starting 4 we saw that all the 4 that were given at first, they were equivalent. The last one is not. Moving further here, we have got question number 2. It says write the fraction and pair up the equivalent fractions from each row. So let's work it out. Here we have got 1 over 2. This is the simplest fraction. Now here we have got 1, 2, 3, and we have got 4 out of 6 that are shaded. Then we have got 3 out of 9 shaded. Then we have got 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 8, and out of it 2 are shaded. Then we have got 3 out of 4 shaded. Now we need to mark what all pairs are equal. So starting with the equivalent one. So I'll just mark them in this blue color. So I'm just marking what is equivalent to 1 over 2. If I multiply 1 over 2 by say 2, so the fraction will be 2 over, it will be 2 over 4. So let's just complete for all of them, then we'll do at the end. So here in this one, how many do we have? We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so we have got this denominator 18, and on the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have got 6 shaded. Here in the second one, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of 8, we have got 4 shaded. The next one, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 16, and out of 16, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4. We take away 4, so it's 12 over 16. Now the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 2. So it is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to take away 4. So it is 8, right? So the last one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And out of 16, we have got 4 shaded. Right, so we are done with writing all the fractions to these given shaded and unshaded parts of a given whole structure. We need to say what fraction and pair up with the equivalent fraction from each row. Okay, so let's see what is equivalent to 1 over 2. Let's use the same color to it. So if we multiply 1 over 2 by 2 each, we'll get 2 over 4. Do we have 2 over 4 anywhere here? No. Let's see if we multiply it by 3. So it will be 3 over 6. Do we have 3 over 6 anywhere? No. If we multiply it by 4, it will be 4 over 8. Do we have anywhere 4 over 8? Yes, here we do have 4 over 8. So these two are equivalent. Now let us move to the next one. Let's say we are choosing say 4 over 6. So can you think what is equivalent to 4 over 6? Can you think about 4 over 6 in its simplest form? Can we do this? How can you write 4 over 6 in simplest form? Think about dividing it by a number so that both the numerator and denominator are divisible. So I think if you think about dividing 4 by 6 by 2, so the denominator and numerator here in 4 over 6 can be divided by 2. So it will be 2 over 3. Okay. So imagine instead of 4 over 6 we have got 2 over 3. Right. So here let's think about 2 over 3 and let's find what are equivalent fractions to it. Now I'm just using green color for this, 2 over 3. So multiplying 2 over 3 by say 2. So it will be 4 over 6. Do we have 4 over 6 anywhere? No. Let's think about multiplying it by 3. So it will be 6 over 9. Again, we don't have any 6 over 9. Let's think about multiplying it by 4. So it will be 8 over 12. 8 over 12. Yes, here we have got 8 over 12. So we got the second pair. So now moving ahead, let us see in the third one, C part. It's 3 over 9. What is the simplest form of 3 over 9 is? Divide both the numerator and denominator by 3. It will be 1 over 3. Let's write it here. 1 over 3. Okay. Now we are going to find the shaded, the equivalent to 1 over 3. Okay. Let's multiply it by 2. It's 2 over 6. We don't have anywhere. Let's multiply it by 4. It will be 4 over 12. We don't have anywhere. Let's multiply it by 6. So it will be 6 over 6 times 3 is 18. So here we have got its equivalent fraction. Now moving to the next one. It is 2 over 8. So think about converting 2 over 8 into equivalent fraction, that is in the simplest form. Dividing 2 and 8 by 2, it will give 1 over 4, right? So for 1 over 4, we are going to find the equivalent. Let me just choose a color. Okay. So 1 over 4. 1 over 4, if we multiply both of these numbers by 4, 1 over 4, it will give 4 over 16. And clearly 4 over 16 is right here. And these are equivalent. Now coming to the last one, that is 3 over 4. 3 over 4, if you see, it is already like in the simplest form. You cannot further simplify it. 3 and 4 has got no highest common. They don't have any common factor between them, right? They just have 1 as their common factor. So we cannot further simplify 3 over 4. So this is the simplified form. So if we multiply 3 over 4 by 4, we'll get 12 over 16. So these two are equivalent pairs. I hope how we have worked with this particular question of finding the equivalent fractions. Now moving ahead, it says replace the box in each of the following by correct number. The first one is 2 over 7, which is equal to 8 over a particular box, right? So now Just 1 second. Okay. So we'll do these 3 questions in the next page. So don't consider these 3. So let's see this one, the first one that we were discussing. So it says that from 2, you are getting to a bigger number, that is 8. So when you go from a smaller to bigger, what will you do? You need to multiply. So you multiply the numerator and denominator by a same number. So if you multiply, think 2 times what number gives you 8? It is 4. You do the same with the denominator as well. What is 7 times 4? It is 28. Okay. So what is equivalent to this? It is 28. So this particular box here that was required to be filled was 28. Now coming to the B part. It is 5 over 8, and here we have got 10 over the box that needs to be filled. So think, what can you do to make 5 a 10? We can multiply it by 2. Do the same with the denominator. What is 8 times 2? It is 16. So here, what is in this blank box? It is 16. Let's do the C part. It is 3 over 5. 3 over 5 equals something over 20. So how will you go from 5 to 20? Think. We need to multiply it by 4. We do the same with the numerator. So it will be 12 over 20. I hope it is getting clear every time we are working the question. Now the next one is 45 over 60, and 45 over 60, we are going to turn this 45 into 15. So think, by which number can you divide your 45 in order to make it a 15? And you are going to do the same with 60 as well. So if we are going to multiply, if we are going to divide, let me just change the color. If we are going to divide 45 by 3, we'll get 15. We are getting smaller, so we divide. Same thing we do with the denominator. So 60 divided by 3, it is 20. So the box that is blank contains the number 20. Moving forward, it is 18 over 24 equals what over 4? So 18 over 24, we need to go to something over 4. So we are getting smaller. So think, what can you divide 24 by? Which number you can divide it to get to 4? The answer is 6. So again, we do the same with the numerator, and 6 goes into 18 how many times? 3 times. So the answer is 3. Okay. Now let's move ahead. Let's try this question here. It says find the equivalent fraction of 3 over 5 having the denominator 20. Let's write it in the same way. 3 over 5, and we need to do something so that at the denominator we get 20. So quickly let's do this. Okay. 5 times what number gives 20? 4. Do the same with the numerator. So it's 12. Okay. Now the next one is, we have 3 over 5 and we need to do something so that we turn the denominator into 30. We are getting from smaller to bigger. So we need to multiply. Multiply by what number can give us 30? Multiplied by 6. Do the same with the numerator. It gives 18. Now equivalent fraction for 3 over 5 such that we get here the numerator 9. So we are getting bigger. So what do? We multiply by what number? By 3. So here again we do the same with the denominator, and thus getting the denominator here 15. Now the next one says 3 over 5. We need to do something so that the numerator turns 27. So we are getting bigger. We multiply. Multiply by what? Multiply by 9. We do the same with the denominator. 9 times 5 is 45. So what we have worked here, these numbers that we have calculated, all these numbers are equivalent to the given fraction 3 over 5. I hope this is clear how we have worked for the equivalent fractions within the given condition in the question. Again, we have a question with a given condition. It says find the equivalent fraction to 36 over 48 where the numerator is 9. Here we need to find what will be the denominator. So now as the numerator is getting smaller, what operation we'll use? We'll use the division, right? So 36 should be divided by what number to get 9? So think, what is 9 times the number that gives 36? It is 4. We do the same for the denominator. So the answer is 12. Now 36 over 48, and we need to do something so that the denominator turns into 4. Okay, so we need to find what number will come here at the numerator as well. So what operation do you use in order to go from a bigger number to smaller? We use the operation of division. So dividing 48 by what number will give you 4? The answer is 12. So we are going to divide it by 12. Do the same with the numerator, and 12 goes into 36 3 times. So these are the equivalent fractions that we have calculated. Now moving ahead, it says check whether the given fraction are equivalent. Great. So here the method that we are going to use is the method that we learned as a fact of equivalent fractions. So we are going to multiply the numerator of one fraction to the denominator of the other, and the same goes the other ways. So let's write it down here. It's 5 over 9 and this is 30 over 54. So we are going to check whether the given fraction is equivalent. One way to do this is that you just break the particular fraction into simplest form, okay, and then you can verify whether it's correct or not, or you can just multiply the other one that is smaller. Okay, so how we can do this? One method is, think about dividing, let's just complete this one by making into simplest form. Okay, so consider 30 over 50. Let us see how we can make 30 over 50 into simplest form. So 30 over 50, if I can divide both of them by 10, it will give the answer as 3 over 5. I cannot further make this simplified, right? So this is one of the fraction. Here we were given the other fraction was 5 over 9. So do you think 5 over 9 can be divided by any common factor? So our answer is no. Here it is 5 over 9. Here it is 3 over 5. Do you think they are equivalent? The answer is no. They are not equivalent. How we can check them? If you want to further check them, say 5 over 9 and here we have got 3 over 5. We can multiply, we can cross multiply them like this, and this gives, here we have got, after multiplying 5 and 5 it's 25, and 9 and 3 it's 20. I'll just erase this. It gives 27. So they are not equivalent. So the first pair of fractions that are given, they are not equivalent. So let us just make this slide a little neat. So what method did we use first? I'm just writing no here. So what method did we use in the first one? We used the method to turn one fraction into its simplest form. We checked whether both the fractions are simplest in their simplest form, and then we compared them, right? Let's do the next one. It is 3 over 10. Clearly this is in the simplest form. You have got no factor common between 3 and 10. Now what about 12 and 50? I think we can divide both these numbers by 2. This will give me the answer as 6 over 25. Do you think we can further divide 6 and 25 by a common number? I don't think so. Let's check the other way. How? Let's multiply them in the cross way. So it is basically 25 we are going to times 3 by 25 and 10 by 6. So what is 3 times 25? What is 6 times 10? 6 times 10 is 30. So let's write it here. I'm sorry, 60. So let us write it here. It's 60, and 25 times by 3 is 75. So clearly they are not equal. Okay, so clearly we saw that these two numbers are not equal to each other. So this fraction is again a big no. They are not equivalent. Let's just clear the slide a bit. Here again, what method did we use? We used the method of working out the simplest fraction, and then we compare them. Let's just directly use the method of multiplication in order to check whether these two numbers are equivalent or not. Okay, so we are going to multiply here. What is 7 times 11? It is 77. And what is 13 times by 5? The answer is 65. Clearly these two are not equal. So again the answer comes out as no. The given pair of fractions are not equivalent. Moving forward, it says reduce the following fraction to simplest form. Let us do the first one by breaking it into simplest form by doing step-by-step method. Like we are not using the shortest method, we are doing the step wise. So 48 over 60. If we divide each of them by 2, let's see what will we get. It will be 2, 424 over 30. We can further divide it by 2. So again dividing it by 2, we get 12 over 15. 12 over 15. We can further divide it by 3. So the answer is 6. I'm sorry, not 6, it's 4. It's 4 over 5. We don't have any factor that is common between 4 and 5. So this is the simplest form of the given fraction, 48 by 60. Moving to the next one, 150 over 60. Clearly we can divide both of these numbers by 10, right? So the answer will be 15 over 6. Okay. If we further divide both these numbers by 3, we'll get the answer as, it will be 5 over 2. And clearly this is the simplest form. We cannot divide them further. Moving to the next one here, let us use the HCF method. Let us find what is the HCF of 84 and 98. Clearly we can divide both these numbers by 2. So it will be 42, and here 98 divided by 2 is 49. Now what can we divide it by? 42 is divisible by 7 and 49 is also divisible by 7. So let us divide both these numbers by 7. So 42 times 7 times 6 is 42, and 7 times 7 is 49. And here we can't do further. 6 and 7, they have no common factor. So here let's directly divide them by the HCF. So 84 over 98, and here we are directly using the shortest method to turn a given fraction into its simplest form. Okay, so let's divide them both by 14. Okay, this is the shortest direct method. So 84 when divided by 14 gives the answer 6, and here if we divide 98 by 14, the answer is 7. This is the shortest method to get to the equivalent fraction. Let's do here. It's 12 over 52. So think about dividing 12 and 52. Clearly, do you think we can divide 52 and 12 by 6? No, not possible. 52 is not there in 12 to 52 is not there in 6 times table. Let's do it by the short method. Let's just keep the steps. So this will be 6, and if we divide 52 by 2, the answer is 26. Right. So now think, what number can we use in order to divide 26 and 6, both of them? So both these numbers are there in 2 times table, right? So let's divide them again by 2. So this comes out to be 3, and this comes out to be 13. And 13 being a prime number, we cannot do anything further with this. So this is our simplest form of the given fraction. Coming to 7 over 28, directly we can divide both of them by 7. So the answer will be 1 over 4. I hope you have understood how we are using the method of division of a given fraction by a particular fraction with the same numerator and denominator in order to get equivalent fraction, which is in the simplest form. Okay. Now let's do this one. It says Ramesh had 20 pencils, Shilu had 50 pencils, and Jamal had 80 pencils. Okay, so let's just denote Ramesh by R. He got 20. Shilu by S. She got 50. And Jamal, he got 80 pencils. After 4 months, Ramesh used up 10 pencils. Okay, so this is the total number that he has got. And let's write used how much? 10 pencils. And here for Shilu, she used up 25 pencils and Jamal used up 40 pencils. Okay, so what fraction did each use up? Check if each has used up an equal fraction of his or her pencil. Okay, so let's just write this down in fraction. So for the fraction form here, let's just write this in words. Then you can learn how to write such questions in a formal way. Okay, so let's do this. Ramesh had 20 pencils. Pencils used. So here we're just talking about Ramesh. So how many pencils he used? 10 pencils. So what is the fraction? The fraction is 10 over 20. So let's write 10 over 20 in its simplest form. So dividing it by 10, it gives 1 over 2. So basically Ramesh has used up half of the pencils that he has got. Now let's do the same for Shilu. So instead of Ramesh, I'm just writing the word Shilu here. Okay. So it is Shilu. So how many pencils Shilu has got? Shilu has got 50 pencils. Out of them, she used up 25. So fraction is 25 over 50. And if we divide 25 and 50 by 25, we'll get the simplest form, that is 1 over 2. Again, see, Ramesh used half, and again, Shilu has also used half of the ratio. Now let's do the same and check how much fraction who's left? Jamal has used. Okay, so let's check for Jamal. He had 80 pencils and he used up 40 out of them. So the fraction is 40 over 80. And if we divide the numerator and denominator by 40, the answer will be 1 over 2. So did you see that for Ramesh, the fraction was 1 over 2. For Shilu, the fraction was 1 over 2. And here for Jamal, the fraction is 1 over 2. Every time what we clearly notice is that each one of them has used up half of the pencils that they had respectively. So all these fractions are equal. Okay. Now let's check here. It says match the equivalent fractions and write 2 more of each. So let us start with the first one. It says 250 and here we have got 400. Let's see what is the biggest number that we can divide them by. Okay, so here it's 250 and here it is 400. Clearly you can see here the numbers, they are on the simplest form. So we'll just convert these bigger numbers, these bigger fractions into simplest form, and then we can see which is the equivalent fraction to it. So let's divide 250 and 400 by 10 at first. It will be 25 over 40. Then clearly both of them are divisible by 5. So it will be 5 over 8. So do you see that here we got first match? This first part is equivalent to the D part. Okay. Now let us see another one. Okay, they have said that you can first write 2 more of each. So 5 over 8, you can see here, we can write 5 over 8 by multiplying it by 2. We can get 10 over 16 as the equivalent fraction. If you multiply 5 over 8 by 3. So we'll get 15 over 24 as the equivalent fraction. So these are equivalent fractions to 5 over 8. Right? Now moving ahead. Let me just clean up the slide a bit. So the next part that we have is 180 over 200. Let us divide these by 10. It will be 18 over 20. Dividing it by 2, it will be 9 over 10. This is the simplest form. We cannot further divide 9 and 10 by any common factor. So we got the match of second by the E part. So second, this one is with the E part. And if we want to write the further fractions that are equivalent to it, let 9 by 10 multiply, we multiply it by 100. So it's 900 over 1000. Let's multiply it by 2. So it will be 18 over 20. So these are all the equivalent fractions to 9 over 10. I hope this is clear. Now again, let's clear up the slide and move to the third part. In the third part, what we have? We have got 660 over 990, right? So let's divide them both by 10. It's 66 over 99. Both are divisible by 11 clearly. It will be 6 over 9. If we divide both of them by 3, it will be 2 over 3. This is the simplest form, and we just got a match of third one with A part. And let's write their equivalent fractions. So if we multiply 2 by 3 to 5, it will be 10 over 15. This is one of the fraction equivalent. If we multiply them by 100, it will be 200 by 300. So these are the fractions that are equivalent, right? Now again, cleaning up the slide to work some more. Now comes the next part. It is 180 over 360. Again, dividing it first by 10. So it's 18 over 36. Dividing them both by 2. They are having 2 as the common factor. So it will be 9 over 118. Right? Clearly 9 and 18 are divisible by 9 itself. So it will be 1 over 2 half. Right? So we got the match here. It's the fourth one. We got the fourth one with the C part. So let's write it here. The fourth one matches to the C part. Okay. So let's just think about what more fractions we have. It will be 2 over 4. It will be 3 over 6. It will be 4 over 8 respectively. Now 220 over 500 this. So let's divide this by 10 at first. It will be 22 over 55. Dividing it by 11, it will be 2 over 5. So we got 2 over 5 here, and thus we got fifth one matched to B part. Okay, and with this we are done with all of them. And here again, let's quickly think about the two equivalent fractions to 2 over 5. Multiplying it by 2, it is 4 over 10. Multiplying this by 100, it will be 200 over 500. So I hope you have understood well the concept of fractions. In terms of getting the equivalent fractions, let's quickly see what we learned today.